joins us now on the programme. Then we're going to speak to Catherine Bennett, who's joining us from our business desk. Catherine, tensions between Australia and China getting worse. It's not just political. Trade tensions are also strained as well, aren't there? I mean, Beijing imposing tariffs on a number of Australian exports, including beef, including coal, including wine as well.
That's absolutely right. And analysts are actually calling these attacks from Beijing economic coercion, or to put it in more simple terms, bullying. And that's also how it's been framed in a campaign from a group of MPs from all over the world who are urging consumers to buy Australian wine. So that's the Interparliamentary Alliance on China. That's a group that brings together 200 MPs from 19 countries. And they've released a video calling on consumers to buy Australian wine in solidarity with Canberra. Now, China has slapped anti-dumping tariffs of up to 210% on Australian wine. And that essentially strangles Australia's presence in China's wine market. Now, this is a trade war that does have clear beginnings. It dates back to April, when Australia joined the US in calling for a clear inquiry into the start of the coronavirus pandemic. Now, Beijing didn't like that and immediately started slapping those sanctions on Australia. And on a larger scale, this is actually going to have quite a big impact on Australia's economy. That's because China is Australia's #1 trading partner. Two-way trade between the two countries amounted to 252 billion Australian dollars last year. That's 154 billion euros. And for more on that, we can listen to the Australian Treasurer, who spoke at a press conference earlier today.
Consumption is the largest contributor to GDP, 4 percentage points today, whereas the detraction from net exports was 1.9%. But trade is absolutely critical for Australia. Of 25 million people, we look to be trading with the larger populations in our neighbourhood and beyond. And I'm very optimistic about the opportunities for our exporters around the world. But that being said, the situation with China is very serious.
Now, this trade war has shown that has come just as Australia has published its most recent GDP figures, which show that the country has come out of its recession, technically out of its recession, after the coronavirus pandemic. The economy grew by 3.3% in the September quarter this year, and that was mostly boosted by household spending rather than its export market. Now, the government has warned that these positive figures do mask that the road to recovery is still long, is still going to be bumpy, and of course this ongoing trade war with China will make that recovery a bit longer as well.
Catherine, thanks very much. Catherine Bennett from our business desk joining there with some business news. Erin is starting off